Good evening, everybody. Hello to everybody on stream. And guys, we've got a full house almost here in Discord. So, guys, I'm not going to mention all your names now. It's going to take a while. So, you know who you are. Thank you. Chirp in, please. Let's make it a fun, chatty stream again. You know what to do. And thanks for joining me. Much appreciated. So, I'm gonna do this slowly because some guys want to join us. Hakan says I must not be in a hurry, so we'll wait. We'll take our time. If you guys have questions, now's the time. If you guys just want to talk nonsense, now's the time. Don't be shy, guys. As long as it's pet friendly and child friendly, we can discuss it.
You can do your walkabout of the aircraft outside, Nico.
Yeah, let's do a walk around.
Dublin Orto is almost ready, sir.
Okay, Hakan, that's good.
Well, that's one civil aviation law that you've broken.
What?
Well, if there's no steps at the door, there's supposed to be a strap across the doorway to stop anybody stepping through.
Mac. I've got a suspicion that, sorry, it's a struggle to just move around like this. I think George is going to have to give me the actual file, because look at my terrible textures. Look there. George is going to have to give me that file to get better textures. Okay, doesn't matter.
Well, I reckon wondering whether there should be a bit of a gap between either side of the one, so that it's N1 code, but still says Nico, because then it would show you a number one as
well. Yeah. Anthony? Typical African style. I'm the last dictator. That's my limo. Now you know. Pinky and the brain. Yeah, bo. Ayoba. Right. Okay. So I haven't done anything yet, except just admire the view. Oh yes, that was the one thing I really wanted to switch off, is that reflection.
Oh, by the way, that car would be no good for your presidential limousine. It hasn't got a sunroof for you to stand up and wave to the crowds.
Mac, this is just the one taking me from the gate to the aircraft. The other one, when we deal with crowds, trust me, it's kitted out.
He brings them all in on a C-17, Mr. Mac.
The one he's got for dealing with crowds has probably got machine guns built into the front and back.
Grenade launchers, smoke detectors, you know, everything is there. Guys, yeah, what can we say? Right, let's start looking at some of the planning and stuff.
Okay, let's get serious.
Mac, it's too late to get serious now. If I get too serious now, I'm gonna fall asleep. So guys, please keep me awake.
Sent you an image of the new livery, Mr. Mac.
Nico, are you flying online?
Oh, I like that. Where did you
I
find that
I
one?
will be flying online on Iveo.
Fine.
I put it in the folder, Mr. Mac.
What are you guys seeing that we're not seeing?
I'm sending
Uh,
Mr. Mac liveries.
Oh, okay.
it's need no, but
A need to know basis. All right, all right. Anthony, I like your hand sanitizer there. Joe, I got your message. You know what? So be it. I really held back. I was trying to be nice but firm and stern. Anyway, some of those things just happen. Right. I can enable my Zibo mod logo again. There we go. My Zibo logo.
Greetings from Vancouver, Nico.
Ooh, that's only one guy. That's Dimitri. Good afternoon. How are you?
Doing just peachy, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you need to ask question to Nico because still I need time to
That's
join
fine.
this beautiful flight.
Steve is asking me, how are you? Steve, I'm actually okay, thank you. I'm doing very, very well. I'm glad to be able to do a second flight this time in my beloved Zibo. So it's going to be a little bit more automated than the classic we did just now. So yeah, back to Ryanair, making some brownie points, earning our ranks, trying to catch up with Uncle John, which is not going to happen very soon. You know, he's like 300 hours in front of me, but you know, we're trying, we're trying. Hello, Steel. Ah, that's good, that's good. Zilitos, yeah, gotta love explain streams. You know, what can we do? I mean, um, I have not tried streaming P3D version 5, but version 4 was a nightmare. It drove me to explain. I just couldn't do it. It just wasn't for me. So hopefully this time, you know, with version 5 it'll be better. Steve, yes, the major change in version 3.42 is the VRAM usage. Zibo cut out about 500 megabytes of resource hogging that some of the textures were doing. So we've got much more room in our VGA cards to play with now. That's so cute, Steel. You must enjoy her while she is so small. Time flies. Absolutely, Steve. So here we are talking about virtual airline. This is Ryanair. This is my control panel. This is the actual route that we need to copy. We're going to fly from Dublin to Bristol. It's an hour and 5 minutes. Push to blocks. So it's a short flight. 134 packs. Well, 1.5 on the cargo. Yeah, let's get it going. Oh, by the way, Hakan, I got your coffee. Thank you very much. It's wonderful.
Enjoy, sir. Enjoy. After coffee, I'm going to Santa ice cream.
Oh, yeah, you are my hero.
Today, full service.
Fantastic, fantastic. The dinner was good, I must tell you. Compliments to you and the chef. Thank you very much. Zilitos, thank you very much. I'm Afrikaans. My home language is Afrikaans. English, I used to speak only in self-defense, but we've gotten better, and I still mix my tenses and say stupid things now and then, but we're getting there. We're going to win this English. I might not speak the Queen's English, but the Queen's Guard, who is here online with me, sometimes give me a nudge and a push in the right direction. I'm sure we'll get there too. Yeah, I had a very soft landing just now in the exec as well, the 737-300. Steve, I actually bought some scenery from the X-Plane store for the helicopter, and I actually went helicopter flying yesterday at the Matterhorn, and that was really, really nice. But just picked one of those nice sceneries. Right, back to business. Where do we want to go now? Right, so that's our route. Okay. Let us see. Weather, that's off. We don't have any of this. Can go there so long. Let's just make sure we get the correct details from Active Sky EIDW. We can actually check it and compare it with this one. Yeah, we can move off. Fantastic. Let's move. Ooh, wind shear warning to the southwest. I'm lying southeast. Southeast. Our STKP weather is half an hour behind, so we're going to use this one, 250 at 8, which is similar. And QNH, let's see. That's all the same, so it's just a difference in time, but the readings are the same. Runway 27. Guys, remind me, is this not one of those fancy teardrop things where we go straight over the airport, teardrop back in, something like that? Have I got the right airport now?
It is one of those, Nico.
Okay, then I will look for it now.
Link sent, Mr. Mac.
Thank you, Chris. I don't know where you found that one.
Ha, Paul, you star. There you go.
We all know Nico likes his teardrop approaches.
Yeah, there's something about it. There's something about it. Let's quickly save our airports. Guys, if any of you on stream want to fly with, I will be on Iveo, so you guys are more than welcome to come and join me on Iveo. If you've got VATSIM, so what? Fly on VATSIM. We're just not going to see each other. If you want to fly offline, join me. Do the same. You know, let's have a party together. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, I need to fly the A319 again as well. I flew it from Innsbruck to Heathrow the other day, and then I couldn't log it for the VA. So that flight is actually still open. I need to go do it again. Now that I've got the 737-300 going, I wonder how much Airbus time I will actually do. Hakan?
Sir?
I'm just continuing. How long do you think you'll be? I'm taking it slow, so don't worry. I'm not rushing. I just want to know how long do you think you'll be?
I will be online in 15 minutes, I believe.
Okay. Okay. All right. 15. All right. All right. So I'll wait 10 minutes before I start my 20-minute timer. Okay.
Okay.
Is that something Ryanair special?
Yes. Yeah. Ryanair requires you to be on the ground for minimum 20 minutes, maximum 40 minutes. That's their way of forcing you to do a proper golden dark start up and, set the flight up properly.
Okay.
And if it was a real plane, if you're on the ground more than 30 minutes, they can fly.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I mean, in the real world, you get what they call a slot. And your time slot is your time slot. If you miss that, there's penalties, for instance. So it's imperative to get your timing right.
Plenty of time slots though in this times now.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Dimitri, don't know if you follow Pilot Yellow on YouTube, Misha and the crew there, from BC Helicopters.
I do.
Did you see him and the one guy flew over Vancouver airport the other day? They were cleared straight over the airport, eh? They actually landed there on one of the runways with a chopper.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
There was also a film on the YouTube somewhere of somebody who did a circle round the control tower as well at the major airport.
Okay.
I don't know whether that was the same aircraft or not, but it was in a helicopter.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nico, I just booked the flight.
Yes, sir.
And it's not appearing in the ACAS.
Can you press the refresh button in ACAS?
Yes,
Ah.
we need
Yeah,
much
thanks.
more problems. Please ask him. Much more problems.
Harkin's getting worried now that Nico might get in the air before him.
Yeah.
And then Nico will get to the destination and sit, and we can watch Harkin land.
Yeah.
That terrifies him.
Yeah.
Be sure I will not be happy if this situation happens. Even I can't land properly.
What is your stand, Nico?
Wow, now you ask me. 1-1.
Sometimes
Thank you.
he hovers on the left foot, sometimes he hovers on the right, sometimes he just sits down and rests both feet.
You sound like the Delphi Oracle, Electrine.
I'm just in one of those moods. I've either got to be stupid and silly to stay awake, or I should just crap.
No, guys, you know what? It's Sunday evening here. It's late for me, getting later. Sunset. We got to enjoy ourselves. You know, part of this channel is to keep it real. We're not here to put up shows and fancy, weird things and gimmicks. We're just ourselves, man. Let's just enjoy each other's company. You know.
Yep.
Merhaba arkadaşım Hakan.
Merhaba, merhaba.
Right, so flight level 270, and the flight has been booked on Iveo, so I can do my connection there. Connect.
Oh, in other good news, Nico,
Yeah.
Glasgow has 3 chicks.
Ooh. I didn't know there was another egg.
Oh yeah, there was still one on the nest when you were looking at those 2 yesterday.
I promise I didn't see it. Yeah, I didn't see it. And I watched for quite some time. And this shows you. I really didn't see it. I even showed my wife, look, she at one point in time moved the eggshell out of the way, the open one, you know, the one where one of the chicks hatched. But
Well, now you can show her 3 puppies.
heads. Oh, they're so cute. They are so cute. Right, I am now on Iveo. There is one flight over there. I love the scenery. DDG really makes such good scenery.
And for John's benefit, if he goes to look at the peregrines at the moment, John, you can see how big and still white and fluffy they are, with no other bird around.
Nico,
Yes, sir.
please continue. It will take time, sir.
Hakan. We've got time. Gunnar, are you flying with?
I'm right next to you.
I don't see you. Are you connected to Iveo yet?
Oh yes.
Ah. That's an amazing paint job, that one. Wow. Okay.
Which one?
The paint job that my MTL is giving me for you is an amazing paint job, this one. I've been here 20
Yeah,
years.
you look good as well.
Thank you.
And you've got another one taxiing in as well.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it G or nah? It's blurry. GPW.
My call sign,
Yeah. No, yeah.
686.
The fin name, the fin number, not the fin number. The aircraft. No.
Golf
Delta
Juliet
Papa.
Kilo. The actual registration number is Golf Juliet Kilo.
Then yeah, the MTLs are a bit mixed up.
Yeah,
Oh, here's somebody coming right to us.
yeah,
Nico,
yes.
is your cat around you, sir?
No.
You need to take care of it.
You want me to waste more time? Let's continue. Listen, I'm doing this as slow as possible. Let's set up the weights and the stuff. I'm getting the poor guys on stream are gonna think we're crazy. Guys, you gotta come join us on Discord if you can. Just come talk nonsense with us here or chat on stream. We have to waste some time just to get Akan in the air with us.
Come on, Ha.
It needs time.
The cabin crew have already been round all the passengers 3 times trying to sell stuff to them.
Since this is a Ryanair flight, it doesn't matter, sir.
Yeah, as well. I skipped cleaning up the airplane. I left it like it is from the last flight.
Mine is squeaky clean. Yeah.
No worry, there is no need to clean to aircraft because this is cheap and a short flight, so there is no problem.
They also didn't do this on our flight to the holiday flight.
Even you have permission, you can fly without first officer, sir.
Really?
Yes, I have given this
Permission.
to you.
Okay, Akan. Thank you, Akan.
What? You mean you're trying to make Paul redundant now?
Ain't gonna happen. I'm telling you now.
I'm about ready for pushback, Nico.
I don't know what to say.
I'm not rushing you, sir.
I want to cry.
Also ready for pushback?
Oi.
Everybody is ready except of I.
No, I'm not ready either.
Well, I'm not ready because I'm trying to give you a break, Hakan. Hello, Krister. Welcome. Yes, sir. Pour the coffee. You will be a hero in this chat room.
Virtual Skycheck, hello.
That's Krister.
Could you please... Krister. Ah,
Yeah.
okay, sir.
If you look in Discord, it's check 65. He's 1, 2, 3 guys above you in Discord.
know I've forgotten something, but my parking brake won't go up.
Step on the toes.
Thank you, sir.
You set it like realistic.
Yes. If it's unrealistic, you have to step on the toe brakes. And trust me, in the real aircraft, you've got to press hard. Those things, oh my soul, they are stiff. You've got to step on them. Right, I need to start writing down on my little clipboard now.
It is an interesting route. First going straight into the UK and then from there down.
Yes, indeed it is. It's a weird one, but
I pray for electricity cut there.
no, no. Then we're not friends anymore. Then you're not my
For,
captain anymore.
for 10 minutes, sir.
Don't
For just only 10 minutes.
Don't worry, you've got 40 minutes. I just started my timer, okay? So you've got 40.
40.
Yeah.
40 minutes. Good. 40 minutes is enough for me.
You see. Just started my timer.
At this rate, we'll have to put a delay request in for the sunset as well.
Yes.
Remaining time 30 minutes, sir.
Okay.
In this case, I will have 10 minutes to set my airplane. And it is enough for me. You know, I'm so fast to prepare my airplane.
That's good to know, okay. I'm proud of you. You just do what you can, okay?
Okay, okay.
Echo, Golf, Golf. Echo, India, Delta, Whiskey, airport information, Juliet 1630, Zulu, weather, wind 272 at 10, visibility 10,000, sky condition, few clouds at 2,800, temperature 19er, dew point 5, QNH 1030, advise on initial contact, you have information, Juliet. Echo, in
Krister, you're right. He even catches up in midair. I think he uses a CI of 500 or 499 or something, just below the mark, you know. Yeah, to the limit. Yeah, I'm telling you. Let's get this thing maybe back. Ooh, look at those gusts. Now it's stable. While I'm saying, look at those gusts. It was running. Up 0.5.
I'll be in a slower aircraft, Nico. I'll be going ahead of you. Pushback. Let's do that while we can as well. Okay, I have a question for you guys that might have more experience with
plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
With this alpha yoke from Honeycomb. I downloaded that little memory resident program for P3D, but I'm wondering how it works. I can't figure it out. I'm too dumb for that thing. What I want to do is actually be able to map my joystick to actually talk with TeamSpeak 2. You know, on my Cytec yoke, the software, you had what they called magic keys. So you set up whatever key you wanted to represent on the key press. If anybody of you know how to do that with this Honeycomb software, I would really appreciate it, because currently now for push to talk on over here, I have to use my keyboard, and that's stupid to reach over and, you know, press a button when you can have it on your yoke. So if anybody knows, it would be nice if someone can help me.
I'm using just a simple tool which is called Joy Core as this small name, Joy to Cursor,
Okay.
then you can configure several things. But this is not that easy to use. It has to be explained.
Okay. We can do that offline maybe one day when you've got time.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, we should do.
Nico,
Yes.
please go ahead, sir. I missed this flight probably.
No,
I
no.
don't want to.
Hakan, I've only used up 8 minutes. There's 32 minutes remaining, so take your time.
Okay.
I just feel bad for the poor guys on stream. I mean, guys, you guys can go make coffee and do whatever you need to do. We'll push in about 30 minutes to 40 minutes. Hakan is unfortunately part and parcel of this flight, so we have to wait for him.
You don't need to wait actually, but I'm in trouble really to wait you.
No, I don't.
No, not for me as well. No.
In this case, thank you so much.
Yeah. Still, I've got a trim wheel, actual hardware trim wheel, the Cytec Cessna trim wheel, and that's how I move it so fast. This is the yoke moving it, and that's the trim wheel moving it.
Ladies and gentlemen, drink service has started. Cheers.
Cheers.
The captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Please recheck the security of your seatbelt.
What?
So that cigarette coming back later.
Okay, cool. Sounds good, Steel. I would not mind having one of those either. Wow. Well, we are 95% configured. Gents, have a chat. You guys on stream, please talk to me. Yeah, gotcha. My X52 Pro is here next to me as well because I use it for the helicopters, and I love it. It really works well. For some reason I've got to calibrate it every time before I fly the helicopter, but that's, you know, a small nuisance to have compared to the lovely performance it's got. It's a wonderful joystick, and just makes flying the helicopters easier when you've got a better kind of a joystick. Yeah, I got it. Makes sense still. Well, Hakan, that coffee you sent me is finished now, eh?
Time for a refresh.
Say again, sir.
Say the coffee you sent me is finished now.
But too much coffee can be hazardous for your health, sir, and expensive for me.
Okay, okay, don't worry about it. It's okay. Uncle
Oh, he's
John.
watching the pennies. He's watching the pennies.
Yeah. Uncle John, how are you doing?
I'm very well. I'm sorting all our photographs out. I need
Okay.
to get some up in this lounge.
Okay. Hello, Patrick. Good afternoon. Welcome to the stream. Still wonderful. Good. Patrick, it works like this. We're all a bunch of friends here. We've got a couple of guys here on Discord, so you'll hear different voices. And then we have a couple of guys on YouTube texting. So the option is yours. If you want to join us on Discord and you want to join in voice or just even in text on Discord, the link is below the stream. You click on show more, you follow the link. Otherwise, you just sit comfortably where you are and you start chatting on the text there where you are. So I'm not sure if you are you here? Are you Patrick? Are you here in the stream in Discord? No, don't see you.
Whoa, it's windy.
It's nice. It's nice.
Morning, gentlemen. Afternoon.
Hello, Cody.
Hey, Cody.
Cody.
How are you, my friend?
Very well.
Cody, hello, sir.
Hello, Hakan.
Video is not allowed today here.
KS. Why?
Because
I
we're in
don't
the
know.
Skymatics Live on Air's channel. There's limited rights here.
Ah, oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
I feel myself alone right now, Nico.
Alone? No, well, yeah. Listen, Hakan, how far are you now? I'm at 18 minutes, so you've got like 20 minutes left.
If I am not there, you can continue your flight, sir. I'm going to come with F-16 to catch you.
Okay.
I think you shouldn't wait for me. You can start.
Well, I need to wait another 2 minutes. All right, guys, are you other guys ready to go? If I start my APU and we push in about 2-3 minutes, is that okay with you?
Yep, I'm in the air, Nico.
All right, okay.
We're just in holding patterns above the airport.
All right.
Waiting.
I am terribly sorry for waiting you, sir.
Don't worry, I'm starting my APU. Patrick, that's cool. Whenever you're ready, you can join us. Until then, just text, my friend. Text. Type with the texter here on YouTube, and we can share our stories together here.
Flight attendants, prepare your doors for departure, please. Cross-check and all calls.
Grounded cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Thank you, Krister. I need to get the proper texture from George because I tried it. It's here in the limo. It's just driven away, but anyway, it was here. The texture, once it comes via Discord, is distorted. It's not the correct compression, so I'll have to get the update from him sometime when he comes back. But yeah, it looks good. Right, okay, good. We can put APU power on the bus. Start this thing. Fons, hello Fons.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Fons, yeah, that's a good question. By the way, this is not the Vulcan version, eh? This is 1141. So just bear that in mind as well.
Hi guys, what's going on?
All good, and yeah. Right, let's get ready for this push.
Hello, Sergeant Potato.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Right, so. Oh, I almost did a voice call out. Now I need to type it. Man.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Don't worry, Fons. No need to say sorry. The only time I really have great fluctuations is when I use the Sim Toolkit Pro map. Other than that, I must be honest, it's rather stable. Rather stable. Op die TV.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake. Disconnecting tail. Stand by.
Close enough. It's actually Afrikaans, so it's more closer to Flemish, but Dutch is good. Dit werk ook.
Nico, are you have you pushed
Yes, sir.
joining or not?
Sorry?
Is Hakan joining or not?
He says no. He'll probably be late. I think he's still gonna join, but he's gonna be late, so he said I must go. Right, let's see what needs to happen. On bus, continuous, wait for the pin. Taxi lights on. Too good, engine 7 knots. 1, 2, 3. Anyway, I don't do this often, but there I'm proper on the TV now, so you guys can see my ugly mug. Yay, aviation Cooper. No, I didn't taxi correctly. Oops. Yeah, welcome to the stream. Guys, if you guys can go and check his stream out and maybe give him a sub or a like or something, please do that.
Wind shear, wind shear.
Ooh, wind shear, wind shear. Ooh. Cooper, welcome, welcome. Thanks for the sub there.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
Wow, can you believe that? Hold on, hold on. I'm just gonna stop here. I just wanna grab my active sky. Let's get that on the screen here.
Wind shear.
That's what
wind
it looks
shear,
like.
Wind shear.
We're in it. Yeah, well, aviation Cooper, let the guys go have a look. I've asked him to go have a look. Let's see if subs happen. It's not something we can force on anybody, unfortunately. We'll see. See what happens.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
There we go.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
I'm so glad it's hitting us on the ground and not in the air. You're welcome, man. You're welcome. Anything to help.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear. Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
Gotta say, I'm really loving this active sky with the Sky Max and the Weather Connect.
Cool.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear. Wind shear.
I got the
wind
latest
shear,
SkyMax
shear.
Pro, but I never installed it yet because I'm using some other stuff now. I'll use the other stuff maybe once or twice more, then I'll play around a bit.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
Jordan,
Yes, sir.
are you the Ryanair 44 Golf?
Ryanair 852. I just got over the water here, just coming into.
Okay, because there is somebody pushing beside me, and I don't know who it.
Yeah, I've still got the cloud art loaded, Krister, but I'm not completely sold on it. It looks good and all, but I've got like an itch. So I'm not giving up on it yet. I'll use it a little bit more and then we'll see what happens. Right, anybody inbound to runway 28 EIDW?
Who's Fly Sim 24?
Not sure.
Jody's well ahead of me.
Approaching runways. On runway 28.
Gear up.
400.
Come on, Day. There's our cutback.
1,000.
Cut back, so almost sounds like a cost-cutting scheme.
Yeah, it is. It is. Wrong button.
Pushing back.
Great stuff. Don't you love this view? Just check this. Wow. You know it.
This definitely feels like it's a max auto brakes landing or a through.
Oh, thank you, Krister. Much appreciated. I've got a Corsair Void Pro headset. Rafaida, hello. Krister, it's my famous teardrop that I like so much. So let's start from the beginning. I'm on the Bristol 1 Alpha approach, star at least. Let's see. Yeah, 1 Alpha star. That's going to take us to the actual airport. We're going to overfly the airport and then we're going to use this one. It's the NDB ILS DME on runway 27. So we're going to basically fly the teardrop outbound that way and then turn back in. That's what I have in mind. Well, if the computer does it, you know, then it's not a cowboy turn. If I have to do it, check hold my beer, you'll see something again tonight. Fons, what you need to do, okay, is you can come into the chat room, you can sit here and you can listen. If you don't have a headset with a microphone, then obviously you cannot speak with us in voice, but you can still text, you know, in one of the chat rooms there. It's not like on here. If you want to have an interaction with your text, that we respond to it, it's better to just keep it on stream, because the guys read it and I read it and we can respond to you. But you're right. Hey Jordan, thank you my friend. That is much appreciated.
You're welcome, my friend. Thank you for everything that you do here, Wen. It's greatly appreciated and loved.
I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
That's a terrible exchange rate.
Well, what can you do? What can you do? It's better than ours. I mean, we pay 18 Rand 50 for $1. So imagine that. That would have been like $1.10, maybe $1.03 if we converted that to South African Rand. One of those crazy things. Right, as this is a very short flight, I'm actually going to fiddle and get ready for the descent already. We can't waste time today. So I'm going to quickly switch over to STKP. The aircraft is quite capable of climbing and doing its own thing. Let us go do the rest of the math. Let's go back first. So our next waypoint is 4.3. Need to lose a ton, so that's easy. 61.5. Gonna hit that up for a flaps 30 landing. Beg your pardon. What is the 40 and 10? That's perfectly fine. Then forecast. Our transition altitude is 6,000. Flight level 060.
diamonds in the hull?
Sorry, you're very soft, Mac.
I said, have you got any diamonds in the hull?
We'll go dig and find out.
Well, if you've got 160 in one floor, you drop 160 stones out of the door,
I'm not saying anything.
I'll go back to sleep.
No, don't do that, don't do that. We need the comic relief. No, it's not an interruption. Fons, you can actually, you should be able to speak with him. You should be able. Wait until after the stream. Come join us and then we'll test it. You should really be able to use them because it's got a microphone. You should definitely be able to speak with us. Yes, Mod, when you push the approach button, do you disconnect the autopilot first? Push the approach button. Well, if you press the approach button without an autopilot connected, it's useless. You have to have the autopilot connected. So you don't disconnect the autopilot. I only disconnect at about minimums, just before the decision altitude. Yeah. So okay, let's see what's next. 1033 on our altimeter. 1033. So a little bit. Then we're going to look at our altitudes. 801. That will be our decision altitude. So I'm not going to disconnect my autopilot until very close to that. So 801. We've got the reference speed. Sergeant Potato, that's not stuff we talk about, eh? I've shown you one or two little previews, like the new stairs that is planned, but I only share the stuff that I'm allowed to share. I don't talk about things that, you know, it's just internal stuff. So, let us quickly go also and look what is our descent altitude. We need to descend to 2,500. I'm gonna punch that in. You're welcome. You're welcome. Don't worry about it, Sergeant Potato. It's all part of the learning curve of life. Some things are talked about, some are not. You know, things happen. We'll double check those ones on the FMC. Aye. 67. Let's do 67. And then we need thank you, enjoy your flight, and yes, Christer, you are 100% correct there. So, yeah, 3,000 to go around 117. 1015, I was looking for nobody. 1015. Right, so I think that takes care of everything. We need to just remember that we need to have 3,000 dialed in for the go around.
Question for you, Nico.
Yes, yes.
The heading says 268 on the map, but you've dialed in 267. Could you explain that?
Yeah, if you look at the actual FMC and you go to the initialization reference page or approach reference, you'll see there the actual data that the Zibo mod uses is 267. So that's why you set it to 267.
Right, okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
No worries. And then if you want the story behind that story, go watch the ILS fix video on my YouTube channel. That'll explain the rest why. Because
will do.
There's 8,000 discrepancies between X-plane and Navigraph. In actual fact, more than 8,000. And that is like the compromise that Zibo came up with. Hello, Angel. Welcome. I love these clouds. Anthony, the FPS dips usually when you have a weather update or something. There are also certain areas like where we are flying now that is notoriously bad. Certain areas in X-plane is not very well made, very well optimized. The clouds not really, not these ones. These are the active sky performance clouds, and there you can see it lifts up already. So it's usually got to do with resources being used on the machine. So when you've got like a weather injection, when it flies into a new area, it needs to read a tile. You understand? So it takes a moment or two to read the tile, and then it drops the frame rate. It's one of those silly little things in life. Not much you can do about it unless you really go down very low in your settings. Excellent, Angel. Have a safe flight and good landing.
Nico, does it eat your frequency for the ILS?
What do you mean, does it eat my frequency?
Yeah, it reverses mine. Error 110.15.
Make sure on your MMR that you are on an ILS setting and not a VOR. If you type the wrong frequency in, it will error it.
What's your call sign, Nico?
Now you ask me. Ryanair 686 Hotel.
You're catching me up fast.
Okay. Gunnar, do you understand what I'm saying?
Not quite. Where do I set this?
Okay.
That is ILS.
Okay. If you look at my screen, I'll show you. On the MMR, on your MMR, you've got three modes. You've got an ILS mode, a VOR mode, and a GLS mode. Okay. In order for you,
I'm not on your screen, so
okay.
Just a moment.
Okay.
Man, this is bumpy.
Yes. Oh,
Sorry.
now I'm on your screen.
All right. Okay. So in the MMR, what you need to do is your bottom line needs to say ILS before you can type the ILS code. If it's on VOR or GLS, you cannot type the code, then it will give an error.
Oh, I see. Thank you very much.
Okay, no worries. Hello, Pilot Sasso. Yes, I am on
Hello,
Ibeya.
everybody.
Hello.
You're about to go straight over the top of me, Nico.
Ooh, okay.
I'm already at 9,000, so you're alright.
Well, I'm on 27, so why are you so low?
Because I'm flying a twin prop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much again.
Yeah, you're welcome. Glad I could teach you something.
Oh, yes, you can.
Right, is my top of descent. I like the way you think, Sasso. Yo, yo, yo. How's that? Hey Yorkie, all good, thank you. How are you doing?
Nico, how about flaps 40 landing with that situation?
Let's go.
Just to have a bit of margin.
Yeah, let's go.
Like in real life, I don't like to be so close to the limit.
Yeah.
I always prefer to have a little bit more margin.
Well, there you go. That's your difference. There's 40, so it's a little bit more. Not much. We can go auto brake max as well. That will give us a little bit more. So we'll do flaps 40 and we'll do max. Is that okay with you?
Yeah. Well, I used to do max, auto brake max in real life in a couple of airports. My mind, I have now one evening at Kerry in Ireland, really small airfield, and was gusty wind with thunderstorm and rain. So the runway was wet, of course. We had to go flaps 40, auto brake max, and it was fine because at the end, as soon as you start to decelerate, then you can always disarm them, but at least the stop is assured.
Yes. Okay, we're gonna do that then. Thank you for your real world input.
Welcome.
I'm on final right now.
Thank you, Angel. Awesome. Okay, well, enjoy. But I'm gonna get my ugly mug off the screen here so I can concentrate without being self-conscious as well, and then do a better landing, I'm sure.
You're fine, Nico.
Thank you, Chris. Right, so things are happening. Ooh, we've got ATC in Iveo live, it seems. Yep, 125650. Glad I checked it. And now I can type it in the MMR. Clear. That's not what I want. 1015. Oops. Sorry. 125. 650. Bristol approach, good evening, Ryanair 686 Hotel inbound from the north, we're at 16,000 feet.
Runner 686 Hotel Nico, good evening, descend to 5,000 feet, Bristol QNH 1033, expect radar vectors ILS 27.
Radar vectors ILS 27, QNH 1033, and will descend to 5,000 feet. Ryanair 686 Hotel. Giuliano, it depends on where I fly. There are areas in X-Plane that are very badly optimized, my friend. So for those areas, I get something like I get here, you know, between 15 and 20. And then what happens is in other areas, I get 50 and 60 FPS. Patrick, thank you so much for that tip over there. Much appreciated. The FPS in X-Plane is like a lucky packet. You know, some days you fly in a good area, some days you fly in a bad area. Things happen. Clouds, scenery, the particle system really messes you around. There are lots of factors that can influence it. As long as you get above 20, you should be fine in most places. In Vulcan, thank goodness there's like extra 5 or extra 10 margin, you know, but still some pretty rough patches that you go and fly over.
The problem is with the OpenGL in the version OpenGL 1141, you have spikes,
Yes.
and even if you see you are at 25, then you have these micro spikes which are in between, and the real frame rate is sometimes below 20 then.
Yeah.
And then it stops the sim rate 1, it is sim 0.9 or 0.8. And then the overall, the mean frames is not that the ATC has a good value for you, that you can measure your approach.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's so many things that can influence this. It's not even funny, you know. As long as I get above 20, I'm happy.
Nico?
Yeah.
Well, just a curiosity. In the PFD, can you see that you have the angle of attack indicator?
Yes, yes.
Showing frequency. Do you use it on purpose, or I don't know if there is any particular reason to have it? Because we just use that, we don't have the angle of attack indicator, we just have the dial round altimeter.
Altimeter, yeah. Sasso, because I get my radio altimeter here at the bottom of the PFD, I felt like filling the void at the top. So that's just a personal option. I just thought, you know,
okay, yeah.
Might as well put that there. I can change it. I'll play around with it a little bit, but I'm so used to having the angle of attack there, because I know the radio altimeter comes at the bottom.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know this. I'm honest. If you have the angle of attack there, and the radio altimeter will come at the bottom, as you said. I don't know if you will see the rising runway as well.
Well, in the Zibo you do. It actually shows you the rising runway.
Even if you have the radio altimeter at the bottom.
As far as I know, yes. We can test it just now. You're asking very good questions, so we can test it just now. Looking for the right place. We set that.
Yeah, it should be in display, I guess.
Visual effects. Let's go look.
No, I think it's the main one when you have the MMR function as well. Yeah. So it's display invariant. No, display invariant, Nico, the first one.
Yeah, that's
because it's something that you can change.
There we go. There. So you can have AOA, the radio altimeter, or the circular radio altimeter.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, let's leave it at that. Let's see what it looks like.
Yeah, this is the one.
One at 686 Hotel, turn left, fly heading 110.
Let's see our version.
Turn left 110, 686 Hotel. . 110. Okay. All right, got it. Let's have a look. He's not gonna let me fly the teardrop. I'm getting vectors.
Oh no.
Oh. He obviously knows me. He called me by name when we spoke, so I'm not sure. He's probably watching the stream as well. So, Mr. ATC guy, I don't know who you are. I haven't checked up, but I wanted my teardrop, but don't worry about it. I'm not gonna cry. Not really. You're welcome to vector me.
I think you get a resume own navigation and fly the approach.
Yeah, and then he logs off and he says, "Oh, if you don't want my help, go away." You know? No, we don't want that. We don't want that. We're okay. we
Airport is closed. Go away.
Yeah, we've just dynamited the runway. Ah, Gary, it's him. He's watching. He's watching. He's there. Hello, Gary. Thank you so much. No. It's a private joke. It's really. Let me explain. For some reason, I really like flying the teardrop, Gary. So obviously, when I get an opportunity to fly it, I fly it, and the guys here know it. All right. So it's like a private joke thing amongst us all. And Christer liked me to fly the cowboy turns and things like that. It's a private joke really amongst us here, so don't let it stress you out. We'll do vectors. I'm here for your pleasure as well. It's not just about me, eh? So let's do this.
686 Hotel, continue descent down to 3000.
686 Hotel down to 3000.
Speed.
Yeah. Yep.
I like that because it's absolutely as it is in the real life.
Yeah.
Basically goes in speed protection.
Yeah.
So it allows you to go below, but if you don't select flaps, when it goes to speed minus 15, it will automatically add speed, even if you don't do anything.
Yeah. So I tell you, every time I speak with Zibo, he blows my mind. You know, he's got a way of saying a lot in one sentence. That guy's clever, eh?
I know.
Yeah, for him to work these things out and to make it work, I can just, you know, take my hat off to
Just to tell you how important is that thing, that small thing that the speed is added, the power is added automatically. We had a 2-hour section in the simulator in the real job.
Just to let Tango
you
on
think how important is that system for us.
Yeah, I can imagine.
One 686 Hotel, turn right for heading 190 base.
190 to the right for base 686 Hotel. Yo, I think jumped.
Thousand to go.
One 686 Hotel, further right now, heading 240, descend 2,500 feet, cleared ILS 27.
1,000 to go. 2,500.
2,500 feet, turn further right 240, cleared to intercept ILS for runway 27, 686 Hotel. That's a nice turn, Gary. You did good there. Love
Absolutely.
it. Yeah,
Very
love
nice vectors. I wish he was like this every time in real life.
it. Yeah.
Nico, have you ever used the extend the centerline function on the FMC?
No, we've talked about it many times, but we haven't
Yeah.
really used it. No.
It's absolutely wonderful in a situation like this if you want to try. I don't know if you have a center fix or whatever.
Yeah.
If you have a center fix in the FMC,
Yeah.
you just put that on top, even if you are on heading select.
Yeah.
You put the center fix of the runway on top, and then bottom right of the FMC, you will have intercept course, and there you will put the runway QFU, or better, the course of the ILS.
Gotcha.
Well, now it's too late because you're already on the warlock, but anyway, you will have the magenta line, and that's absolutely perfect.
So next time I fly, maybe
Ryanair 4 Golf Tango, Bristol radar.
Hold on. I think we must do a private session. Then you show me that.
F1 Lufthansa 4 Golf Tango, inbound Ingo at flight level 905.
Ryanair 4 Golf Tango, good evening. You can expect radar vectors for the ILS 27, descent to 5,000 feet, QNH 1033.
To give you an idea how much I love
Down to 5,000, QNH 1033, and expecting radar, expecting vectors for runway 27.
So.
Yes.
Hold on to your thought. I'm on finals now, so just wait till I get, out of ATC control. Then we talk. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Runway 686 Hotel, the surface winds 240 at 10 knots, runway 27 clear to land.
Runway 27 clear to land, Ryanair 686 Hotel. Yeah, this runway is a challenge.
No pressure, Nico.
Yeah. There's flaps 40.
All the jet pilots are all lined up waiting to watch you land.
Ha!
Ooh, big pressure.
Ryanair 4 Golf Tango, turn left, fly heading 120.
Left heading 120, Lufthansa 4 Golf Tango. Ryanair 4 Golf Tango, correction.
Radar altimeter is looking good.
Yeah, nice. And there's your runway, you see, the rising runway.
Yes, and now it should become round dial below 1,000.
1,000.
There you
1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Perch, altitude set.
It's good I still remember something about the real one.
Approaching 27.
Yeah.
Approaching minimums. 300. 200. Minimums. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
80 knots.
Very nicely done, sir.
Yeah, not
Absolutely on the touchdown zone. Absolutely.
Absolute greaser.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. And thank you, Gary. I'll
Wanna
give
fuck
you
off
just
Tango
one.
descent 3000 feet.
Down to 3000 feet, Ryanair fog off Tango.
On a 686 Hotel, welcome to Bristol, taxi Zulu to stand number 2.
Thank you, sir. Ryanair taxi via Zulu stand number 2. And thank you for your service. This was marvelous. Thanks, Gary.
Rob, it's a pleasure, Nico. Cheers. Wanna fuck off Tango, reduce speed 180 knots.
Speed 180 knots, Ryanair fog off Tango.
It's quite daunting when you land and you see that freaking hill come up, you know, in your face. You know, landing uphill like that. Wow.
The temptation there is to shallow the descent rate, so arrive high and fast and land, do a long landing. That's why I told you, use auto brake max just in case.
Yeah.
At least you know you have the last card in your pocket.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter anymore, at least he landed it.
Yeah. But I tell you what, to have a real pilot tell you, you know, give you instruction while you're doing it, I mean, it's just awesome. Okay, Gary, I'm sorry, I apologize. I have no idea where stand 2 is, and I don't have that chart with me, so I'm just gonna park anyway. Forgive me. I don't always do that. It's not a sign of disrespect. I just have no idea where I'm going. Thank you so much. Thanks for understanding.
Wanna fuck off Tango, turn right heading 250.
Right heading 240, Ryanair fog off Tango.
Wanna fuck off Tango, make the heading 250, descend 2,500 feet, cleared ILS 27.
Right 250 and down to 2,500 feet and clear
Is it
ILS
Sam that gives you the
27,
marshal,
Ryanair fog
or
off
is
Tango.
it some separate mod?
I have absolutely no idea. Currently, I'm not sure if this is an Orbex airport actually. Could be an Orbex thing. Then it's probably Sam. just logging this for the VA.
Looks like you're going to have to do another flight tonight, Nick.
Ah, you think?
It was a little too quick. We got to do another.
Will you do a full shutdown, Nico, or just a transit one?
No, all I do is I come to here, and then what I do is we go and do a replay. So what I'm going to do now, Sasso, is I actually go and put the lights back on the way they should be. Otherwise, the replay doesn't look good. You
Yeah,
understand?
absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't join to this beautiful flight, but tomorrow I'm going to fly by myself. I'm so sorry. I'm terribly sorry for get waited you.
Don't worry.
Please forgive me about that. Okay, so that is not.
Bravo
This
4
is
Golf
not
Tango
my
to surface
fault,
winds 240 at 10 knots, runway
unfortunately.
27, clear to land.
Sorry about that again.
Runway 27, clear to land. Ryanair 4 Golf Tango.
And I wish a wonderful night or day. See you later on.
Okay, I'll go and stay well.
Ciao.
Bye.
You know why you're going to have to do another flight tonight, don't you, Nick?
Why?
You're not flying the latest version.
Oh. Oh, that's release another one. Okay. Just want to see if
You
I
could.
can see Gunnar coming in. I disconnected and then reconnected. Just want to see. Gunnar.
What a nice livery.
Yeah, very nice. Very, very awesome livery.
You should probably fly the Concorde constantly on this route so we can actually have more flights than usual.
No, I don't even fly the Concorde. You know what? I just fly the Zibo. Mostly. There we've got Gunnar's lights and his tag. So let's have a look. See what he does. This is an amazing uphill. Wow. Yeah.
Nico, you are online. I think you should. You are anywhere in the air here.
Oh. Well. The aircraft is still on the ground. I just use free view to get into the air here. If you see my aircraft in the air, then that's a problem. But it shouldn't be a problem for ATC or all because it's standing stationary behind us.
Then it's fine.
Yeah.
3.42.1 fixed. Fixed bugs. Load stroke safe. Switch state. APU far handle. Accept.
Awesome.
The free camera doesn't do anything to the radar. Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Not bad at all.
Nicely done.
Yeah. Woo. I'm going offline now. Thanks, Gary, again. Bye-bye. Talk later. All right, there we go. Offline. So let's go check a replay.
Don't do like me, Nico, that on our first flight I think it was Ivao. I activate the slew mode and then went around.
25,300.
Ooh. You know what? It happens to the best of us.
Ah, yes.
I came down at 500 feet per minute. It was not fun.
Okay.
On final.
Yeah, that was a nice landing. I like that.
Absolutely on the touchdown zone.
Well, I'm leaving the call. Goodbye. Stay safe.
Cheerio. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
That was a sweet landing.
I got a nice landing here. That was good.
You did.
113. I think on point. I have to have a view on the reap.
Wow, that was on the cross. Yeah, not bad. I went over the cross. Oh my soul. Oops. Oops. Oh, we went some mowing the lawn there. Anyway. Yeah, well. Gents,
That's a
that was
nice.
fun. Sorry, Jordan.
I'm sorry. I was saying it was a nice quick flight.
Yeah. Let's kill it. Let's load the new Zibo. Just check what it looks like.
Hopefully, with your help, once I will have the PC ready and running, finally, I will start to do short flight, but with the transit. So going and then back.
Yeah. Zibo just needs to fix the transit code now because any go around, any transit is a problem currently. So just be aware of it.
Yeah, the one I told you this morning.
So there's another update.
Yes. Let's see if we put it in the Google Drive for me
How
too.
about Nico? I don't remember if it was you. How about if when you do a go around or a transit, you just hold the menu button on the FMC to reset it? I know it's not the real procedure, but maybe it will fix the problem while waiting for the app.
Yeah, I think it's going to solve a lot of the flight simmers issues with the mod right now. But just reading between the lines, from what I understand, there is a bit of a code work that needs to happen. I haven't asked Zibo specifically about it, but there are things. Hello, Cor. Welcome. All right, so
It's time to update.
yeah, let's update. This takes us to 3.40.1.
So load safe switch state AP handle and then ... is the release.
Yeah.
342.1, Nico.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful.
Zibo sat at home laughing his head off.
Yeah.
Saying, I've got him again. Wait until he's in the air, and then
That's
I'll
so
release.
Yes, Steel. Yeah. Just before the flight, I had this feeling. Let's ask him. Is he gonna release one?
don't have to delete the plugins folder this time around, do we?
I just did it to be safe. There is no instruction to do so. I just did it to be safe. Yeah, still, sometimes Zibo actually gives me a heads up. Sometimes he does not. Tonight he did not give me a heads up, and that's why Max making a joke of it. I should have asked him, but it's not that important.
I send the information about the new release to at least 20 people. Now tonight they will all try the new one.
I wonder how many real-world Ryanair pilots are actually flying the Zibo right now.
I can tell you, Nico, there are a couple using P3D with the, I think it's called NGX or
NGX,
something,
yeah.
the PMDG. Yeah. But I can tell you, just from my base, my job, my company, at least 60 are using the Zibo.
Wow. Yeah,
That's
awesome.
amazing.
60.
Yes.
Guys, I can tell you, it's really, really helpful. I had on the 15 the simulator, the recency simulator, and I can tell you, circle to land, manual flight. Of course, the handling is not the same because in the sim you have a better handling. It's not a joystick, but I can tell you where to look, where to focus. The scan flow, it's a lot. Means a lot having a simulator to try it. Where to look in the PFD, matching the speed, look at the speed, look at your attitude, look outside, look at your speed. All these look for a nice approach and landing. It's absolutely important to keep it.
So one thing I want to do, I really, I'm dying
Yeah.
to do it. The moment I'm allowed back into our sim, the site, the big one for British Airways Comair that we fly usually. I want to take my Zibo checklist and I want to film myself or somebody with me, one of the real pilots, to use my checklist, that training checklist, and have it as a validation to show the guys that it's not just a piece of paper. It actually has real world value as well. So I'm dying to go and do that in the sim.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if I can help you, Nico, absolutely, it's a pleasure for me. So if I can do something, at the moment I'm with an iPad, so I can't do much.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
as soon as I have the computer and stuff, it's a pleasure.
Awesome. I'm wondering if this thing, replacing the plugins didn't trigger now reloading of the nav database, because that's what it looks like. So it's taking a bit of a while to load now.
He's thinking.
Well, Steel, I just want to mention something else. A lot of guys either don't know it or forget about it, but there are a lot of real world pilots giving input into the Zibo mod. This isn't just Zibo. and he's fancy. Zibo is very clever and he knows technical things that some of these pilots don't even know, to get the model correct and all. But when the real test flights happen, it's the real pilots who fly this thing. And that is what makes it so stunning. And also, on the other hand, what makes it so difficult for people who do not diligently learn the Zibo, because it is more real than a lot of other versions of the 738 in simulation, and this thing bites you like in the real world. It does. If you don't diligently learn this thing properly and fly it properly, it's going to bite you. And a lot of guys, when we do support, I see it a lot. They underestimate how realistic this aircraft really is, and then they get bitten. It's amazing. And when a real pilot tells me, Nico, there's a problem, I promise you, I pay much more attention than when somebody just tells me it's a bug, because 9 out of 10 times it's not a bug. It's just a question of, the guy haven't learned the trick yet. So this thing is very, very real. Let's quickly see. I did create a new nav database. So
I can agree, Nico, 101% with you.
yeah. Right, so there's not going to be any difference there. No point in us looking there. Let's see. 3.42.
2 wings, 2 engine,
yeah,
couple of doors.
Yeah, so there you can see the text file actually says 3.42.1, but when it reads it, it says 342. Did I choose the right one? Do I have more than one in here? Nope. Interesting. Have any of you other guys actually loaded this version? Can you verify whether it actually changed the release version on the tablet?
I'll go and do it now.
Thank you. Right, guys, then we have a viewer online that sent me a PM. He says I must show him my Cytec yoke setup. So you guys are welcome to stick around. For all intents and purposes, the stream is over, so no worries if you have to leave. But if you guys want to stick around for a bit of technical support, then you are most welcome to stick around. This is fascinating. Unless explain didn't close properly. I'll redo the install later. It's not important right now. Mac, I'll wait for what you tell me, but it could be that my explain didn't close properly, and when I did the update, it didn't really, substitute the correct file correctly. So it's one of those things. Okay, so Cytec. Oh yeah, definitely. He's a master programmer. Okay.
Did you actually close X-Frame when you did that update?
Yes. Yeah, I did. I actually deleted the plugins folder as well. If it was in use, it would have told me. So that's why I'm curious. I mean, that version text file should update the
That's, yeah, I'm
question.
going there now.
Okay.
It's loading.
All right. Right. So Patrick, I presume you are the guy on Discord. So let's continue. Okay. Because I have two yolks. I have the honeycomb yolk. The guys who know what it looks like know what it looks like. This is the honeycomb yolk. This one basically controls my pitch and roll. So if we go to the ProFlight yoke, there's no more yoke and pitch control. On never at any stage on any one of the yokes did I add a response curve. I just don't do it. What is more important is your control sensitivity. Stability augmentation must be 0. Okay, I'm not even going to try and debate anybody who thinks they're more clever than me or Twixter or Zibo. That needs to be 0. What you do in your control response, that's between you and your joystick. Wherever you feel comfortable, if you feel you get the correct pressures and whatever, that's what you choose. Me personally, from my experience, what I've found is the more towards 100% you go, the more heavier the aircraft feels. If you put it on 000, it feels like a bit special sometimes. You just touch the yoke and that thing turns. And to me, that's not the way I want it. I want it to feel heavier, all right, to respond slower. Then obviously the hat switch, that's just normal. It's just the hat switch up, right. The rest easy as that. Then number 3, the big red button. That is what I connect to my X camera view ID number 1. So it doesn't matter in which direction I look. The moment I press my red button, and it's the same for my honeycomb. If I press that red button, I immediately look front and center as if you're pressing the W key or the shift, I think it's shift 8 or shift 9. It takes you directly back to your virtual cockpit, straight front and center. Okay. Then number 4 and 5 is my pitch trim. So I've got the pitch trim down, pitch trim up. On 8 and 9, this is my autopilot AP connect and disconnect. All right. So what is important is obviously the commands. When you click command A, it needs to take it, right? But on the AP disconnect, you need to use that specific command because you press it once to drop the bar and you press it a second time to lift the bar. The action there will then silence the horn. So when you are on finals and you get to your decision altitude, you don't want to use the mouse to go and press a little flickering light to kill a horn. So all you do is you press number 8 twice. It drops the bar for disconnect autopilot. You click it again, it lifts it, but it silences the horn as well. If you want to be safe, you just click it again. It's just going to drop the disconnect bar again, On 6 and 7, I've got the flaps up and down. What
Put
else is important?
Hand up. Mister, can I ask can I interrupt?
Yeah.
Version text doesn't show up correctly in 4.2.
All right, okay.
It's only reading 3.4.2 here.
Okay.
He's obviously got to allow for the extensions for fixes.
Yes. Okay, cool. Thank you, Mac. Thank you. I bet you within an hour we're going to have at least 10 people ask why is it not updating correctly, or I did it but it's not showing. I promise you it's going to come. So thank you for verifying for me. So Patrick, what else do you want me to show you? I'm not sure what else I can show you. This is another nice one that I do just as a matter of interest. My mixture and well, the blue one for normal prop. Those two are my engines. This one is my tiller. So when I drive around on the ground, I don't use my pedals to steer myself. This is my nose wheel tiller. Yeah, still, that's what we just said. I do not use any response curves, LD, none at all. The only one that's got a response curve is just this one. This is just for the tiller. It's not that important, this one. It's almost linear.
I confirm Mr. Mack's findings, Nico.
Yeah, Steele also just confirmed it. You're welcome, Patrick. You're welcome. Ask anytime. The only other thing I would suggest when you're doing this is make sure 11 and 12, those two buttons are set up correctly for, does it highlight it? Yeah. Hold reverse, you know, so if you click down, it will activate the reverses, and then you move your throttles forward to increase the reverse thrust. Those are handy settings to have. All right, well, I'm really not going to fly this one now. We'll fly this one tomorrow. So, yeah.
So Nico, sorry, just to understand, from the APAD, we are gonna still see 3.42. Is it correct?
Correct, yes. Correct.
Okay, fine. So
Yeah.
even if we do the update of the patch.
Yeah, because if you look at the actual aircraft, I mean, I did patch it here on stream. Everybody saw me do it. So if you then go to the version text, it clearly states 342.1.
0.1,
Yeah.
yes. On the UFB, in the EFB is still saying that one.
Yeah.
Nico, one question. As you have shown the throttle quadrant. Speed brakes. You do not use speed brake?
I do, but I use number 3 and number 4 on the keyboard to move them. You see there?
So maybe it means during the landing, but that should work automatically with the ground switch.
Yeah, what happens is you obviously look at stowed right now, right? So if I press the button 4 once, it actually arms it. You'll see the green light actually comes on there and it tells you speed brakes armed. Okay, so the moment you put the wheels down, it's going to do this. It's going to put it out automatically. Then what happens is as you put your throttles forward, it will automatically retract it. That's a bowing function. It's built into a bowing. That's how it works. So you arm it by pressing 4 once. The moment you land, it goes like this. So it extends and it starts to brake you. And when you push your throttle levers forward, it will automatically stow it again.
Absolutely correct. And compare with the extension in flight, when you are flying, it will maximum go to fly the tent. Instead, when you land with the ground control switch, goes to the full detent, which pull up the flight spoiler and the ground spoiler as well. So basically everything on the upper surface of the wing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I set it up at the tablet where you can set the axis. You have to find the axis as first,
you can.
and then you can say what is the. I use it at the throttle quadrant, the left lever, and you see you can set where it is armed and where is flight detent. These both positions you can set them.
Yes, you can.
That's good, and I saw this in this flight now. Even if I put it all the way back, it just goes to flight detent.
Yes.
Absolutely. And that is absolutely real, 100%. There is, let's say, I don't know if you call it a saving system, but anyway, you have to be careful, because in real one, you can actually pull all the way to the ground one, but then you will have a real problem of stability if you do that while you are flying.
Yeah.
On the other end, there is an option, because sometimes this system is included in the MEL, in the minimum equipment list. Sometimes you have the speed brake broken, or better, the auto brake, let's say the auto spoiler is broken, so you have to manually raise the speed brake upon landing. And in the OPT, there is actually a window to set these, because these will increase your landing distance by a percent, because of course there is considered a delay in doing the speed brake, in deploying the speed brake, when you have to do it manually.
Correct. And I just want to add something. Speaking now from the real flight simulator experience that I have, when you put your hand on that lever and you start pulling it, okay, it's not like a car handbrake. That thing has got resistance. You've got to pull it. You can feel the resistance. It's not a handbrake. That thing kicks back and you've got to pull it into position. It's stiff. You need power to move it, which I found very fascinating. Yeah.
Also,
need
one question to this. You see on the landing that it is flipping back. Is it really dangerous to have this hand to have the hand at in that area when this flips?
No, well, I can tell you, the real one never had an issue. But on the other side, I'm an FO, so I'm on the right side. So my left hand is on the throttle. Oh, sorry, not on the throttle. So I don't really touch the speed brake. Always, if I'm flying, if I'm doing the landing, you can see the end of the captain being around the speed brake, just in case they don't deploy. Let's consider, if you do a really smooth landing, the speed brake can have 3 seconds of delay in deploying, because the ground switch have to sense a kind of pressure to deploy the speed brake. So if you really do a really shallow landing, that's why minus 50 FPM is considered not nice as a landing.
Yes, it's too soft. Yeah,
because
doesn't
this
trigger it.
exactly.
Sasso, can you
Yeah.
please give us a real 737 pilot answer here? LD247 is asking for the landing, the flare process. Can you just talk us through the flare process for the benefit of the viewers?
Yeah, what I can tell you, the landing process is not just the landing process, but it's a full approach landing process. It's all in one. A good approach end up usually with a nice landing. So if you are not stable in approach, then you come up with a bad landing, let's say. Apart from this, I can tell you the easy, let's say, technique that you can use in every 737. The procedure is simplified by 3 words: check, close, and hold. So the first one starts at 50 feet. A 50 feet array, so over the threshold, if you are all stabilized and everything is done, the speed is nice and everything fine, at 50 feet, you have just to move your eyes, your view, to the end of the runway. At 20 feet, close the thrust. So just reduce, don't shut it, but just reduce smoothly the thrust. And then hold is the last one. Now, what will happen with the 737? The engines are below the wings. So if we reduce the thrust, the nose will have a small tendency to put nose down. That's why we have the last word that is hold. So check at 50 feet, close 20 feet, and hold means sustain. Just keep that attitude. You don't need to pull back on the pressure, otherwise you will have a nose up tendency, which means you are floating. That is what you don't want. But you have just to maintain that attitude to cancel that small tendency when you shut the throttle. Again, sorry, don't shut the throttle, because the faster you close the thrust, the faster will be the nose down tendency. So smoothly close at 20 feet array to reach at 0 feet the throttle closed, and then hold that attitude and the aircraft will sit like a baby.
So, do you know what? It is so that incredible good that you are here and explaining this. I'm very grateful for this. Thanks.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
a pleasure.
Thank
For
you.
me, it's a way to review all my stuff. Otherwise, I will have problem in the real one.
Good, good. Yeah, I'm glad. So, LD247, I hope that came across okay for you, that you understand. I also have a tendency of when I close the thrust, I lift the nose too high. Instead of just holding it, I actually lift it and then I end up floating. It's unfortunately
That's
a bad habit.
let's say, Nico, that is kind of normal. It
Okay.
happens in real life, actually. So it come up with experience, so it's absolutely normal.
Yeah.
The other thing that come up at this point is it depends on the runway. You still remember Brindisi that day, the 60 meters width. So if the runway standard 45 meters width, your eyes, the eyes are, let's say, are used to see a kind of runway like that. So when you are approaching, you see the runway coming with a certain angle. If you have a narrow runway, like 30 meters, like for example, South End, near London, then you have the tendency to flare too late. That becomes an hard landing because the runway is smaller, let's say, for you. So you see, I'm still high, I don't flare. So always believe the instrument. If you hear 20, you are at 20. It doesn't matter what your eyes are thinking. And this is the worst part. This is the really difficult part. Avoid thinking on what you are looking with your eyes, but believe and trust your instrument. If it says 20, start the check, close, and hold technique. Otherwise, you will do an hard landing. On the other side, Palermo 2507 is 60 meters. Brindisi is 60 meters. So there you will see, you will start to flare early because the runway is quite big. So your eyes will say, oh, I'm already too low, let's flare. And you flare a 50 feet array. So 50 feet over the runway. That means long landing. Or even worst scenario, you flare too early, you close the thrust, you don't have thrust, you come down like a stone, but you try to do a comfort landing, so you pull on your control and you do a tail strike. That's even worse.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, you come up with experience, of course. Know your charts, know what to expect in terms of weight. That's actually one thing that I always mention during the December briefing. I always mention we can expect a 60 meters runway, we can expect a 30 meters runway. So I'm expecting to see that, I'm expecting to see this, and blah, 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 blah.
Yep, fabulous. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, I'll try and make a video at some point in time about the landings, but it means I need to go and practice my own. But for the record, I want to mention something else which I found fascinating. A lot of guys on Discord the other night didn't know this, and this is why I put this picture up for you guys. A lot of guys have the idea that those big piano bars is the be all and end all of where you have to land, and if you pass them you did a bad landing. But in actual fact, the touchdown zone starts over there and it ends with the last piano bars. Okay, and I don't want you guys to get confused with the aiming point All right. So I've seen a lot of guys really give really nasty comments on Facebook and so on when people land just behind it. As long as you land within this box, this is your touchdown zone. So guys, please take note of that as well. It's a flight simmer nonsense story that you have to put your gears down on those two bars. Please don't make a mistake. Blogger man, you're welcome. You guys are welcome. Anything else you want to ask? Well, we've got a real pilot here. You guys might as well throw in the questions quickly. Sasso, if we can use you another 5 minutes.
Of course, I'm here.
Okay, so think quickly, guys. Throw your questions. Let's see. Anybody else on Discord?
I hope I can answer.
We'll find a friend if we have to.
Yeah, I will do my best.
Yeah. Well, while we're waiting for somebody to ask something or say something, I'm still buzzing from this landing. I really like this landing, man. This was...
It was nice.
Yeah.
You see, a good approach usually ends up with a good landing.
Yeah.
And I always go for the higher auto brake, just in case.
Yeah.
Always go for the higher, just in case.
For sure.
If you float a bit, if you have the auto brake not set, or if at the back of your mind you have, okay, I'm already tight, let's have that card in the pocket. Yeah. Go with auto brake max. That will avoid you to say, oh, long landing, I have to go around with no chance.
Yeah.
It's better.
Yeah.
I have a question, Nico.
Yeah.
Regarding tailwind takeoffs. I can't remember what the actual maximum is for the 737-800 tailwind takeoff. I know there's SOPs, company policies and that, but I have seen that some aircraft, instead of raising the throttles to 40% or whatever, then engaging toga, I've seen them go to 70%, then engage toga with a tailwind component. Is that correct?
Could be. It depends on the SOP again. My company doesn't require that. There is no that requirement to use the 70%. The only time when we do the 70% is if we have ice condition or if we did the de-ice, because that will give the compressor the opportunity to spool up. So basically you do 40, all the brakes, 70, all the brakes, 70, stabilized, release the brake, toga, there we go. But that just in some cases. It depends on the SOP. There is no mandatory requirement by Boeing to do that, as far as I know. But if my company is not saying you have to do it like compulsory for a tailwind, I guess Boeing doesn't say something different. Regarding the component, the tailwind component, there are some runway that are allowed with 15 knots tailwind. Others are allowed with just 10. So again, in my company, the default tailwind is 10 knots, unless is a runway approved by the company to use 15 knots tailwind. Condition to have that basically is the obstacle after the runway and in the climb phase, because of course when you do a takeoff with tailwind, your climb rate will be less than a normal takeoff. Do you all agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so this means obstacle clearance. That's what we want to achieve after our departure. So if we have tailwind, this means we will have less climb gradient. The rate of climb will be a little bit less. So it really depends on the condition around the airport and maybe particular procedures as well enforcing that airport.
Grazie, Sasso.
Prego, you are welcome.
There was another question here. What is the minimum trigger for a go-around?
Yeah, minimum trigger. There are a couple of triggers. Unstable approach by 500 feet array. So in order, let's start in the approach phase. Descending through the before actually the minimum. Usually for a Cat 1 ILS, the minima is 200 feet array. So in other words, 200 feet above ground that we can see in the rad altimeter. If by 200 feet we are not stable, of course we do a go around. But sometimes, especially if you are doing a manual approach, for instance, a visual approach or a non-precision approach, so we already disconnected before the minimum, then there is, for my company, another gate. It's called gate. That is in DMC condition 500 feet AGL, so 500 feet array, or in IMC condition 1000 feet array, so that means 1000 feet above ground level. At that point, so let's imagine VMC condition like it was today, 500 feet array, the pilot monitoring, so the pilot who is not flying, will control everything and will say 500 feet, continue, or if he deem that the approach is not stable, or if we are, we are fight with the wind, the thrust is like 90%, so there is something wrong, and let's say we are behind the aircraft, just to give you an idea, so we lost a bit of situational awareness, then the pilot monitoring, it doesn't mind if it's captain or FO, if I'm the pilot monitoring and the captain is flying, if I deem that the approach is not safe, I'm entitled, actually, I have to call 500 feet, go around, and the captain will execute the go around. It doesn't matter if he's captain or chief pilot, whatever. That's our SOP in my company. Trigger until you activate the reverse, you can still do the go around. So once you activated the reverse, then you have to stop because there is no more point to do a go around. That's the rule by Boeing.
Excellent.
In fact, now it came my mind, when I started with the company 2 years ago, the call at minimum was land. So the pilot flying, when you hear minimum, you say land or go around. That's the call by the pilot flying. Now, many companies change that call to minimum, and the pilot flying will call continue. It doesn't say land anymore. This is to keep in your mind that you still have the window and the opportunity to execute a go around, even if the main wheel did the touchdown.
That makes sense. Yes, thank you.
Okay, guys. There are two guys on the forum complaining about the texture quality that has been reduced in 342. They obviously don't know what Zibo did. What do you guys want? Do you want better resource management, lower resource usage, or do you want eye candy? I mean, that's
They want
they
want their cake and the ability to eat it too.
Yeah.
I would have a funny reply for them. If you want just texture and not a proper aircraft, just fly Airbus, which is just button. You know what I mean?
Yeah, press a button. Yeah, we know.
When I
I
was
don't
in
know.
my previous base, there was a big EasyJet base. Actually, we were like just 8 aircraft from my company, 6 aircraft, and then was 40 aircraft by EasyJet. and also Wizz Air. So I was like, every time there was an Airbus in front of us and they were going so slow, lining up so slow, we were chilling and joking with the captain or whatever. And we saying they are looking for the coins to do the departure and then, to put the autopilot on. We were thinking like the Airbus is just insert coin airplane.
Insert coin. Yeah, there you go.
Oh man.
Anyway,
So funny.
it's funny. You can say that again. Anyway, gents. Okay, so if there's nothing more, we can call it a night. Let's quickly see. There's someone
Yeah.
popped in.
I'm sorry, but yeah, I have to leave you. I'm really sorry.
That's fine,
Thank you
Sasa.
for your time.
Yeah, I can try to be again online later on, but I don't know.
That's fine. Aldi, let's quickly see how I can show you this. Enter the
Yeah,
data.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I can. I'm reading that one.
Nico,
Yeah.
I'm back.
Hello, Akan. Welcome back. Okay. Look, the
Oh yeah,
information.
final
Yeah,
speed. Yeah. Go. It's easier, Nico, if you do it with the FMC.
I know. I'll
It's
have to
easier.
start up again. I'll have to start up again and show.
Yeah. I can tell you by memory if you want,
No, it's
LD.
fine. It's fine. Let's
So,
do this. Let's do this. So you go.
okay, wonderful.
I'm going to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm going to
Okay,
set up a circuit, and then we'll do it in a circuit. Okay.
wonderful. I will be back later on, most likely, here on
100%.
Discord. And have a nice time, everyone. And it's been a pleasure, as always.
Thanks, my friend.
Thank
Stay
you.
well.
Thank you, sir.
Ciao. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao, Sasso.
Ciao. Thanks.
All right. So, Aldi, you've given me another half an hour's work, but stick around. I hope you've got time. Otherwise, it's going to be silly me doing this alone. I'll set up a circuit and then we can talk about some of the information and stuff. I don't know, Symlink, I haven't run the installer this whole evening now, but it's been updating constantly for about 2 weeks, so keeps on happening. Right, okay, so I'm going to start up at my normal training position, which is at Porto, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Right, so this is a bit of a variation on the training flight that I usually do. Usually I fly in a straight circle, and the other day I thought, bugger that, let's do a bit of a twist there. So we've got a koeksister. The Afrikaans guys will know what a koeksister is. We made a bit of a twist there just to spice up the flight a little bit. We're going to take off Porto runway 35, and we're going to land runway 35, and obviously climb up to flight level 110. So when you do one of these flights, it's basically like doing a complete flight. And then I'll show you where to get the information. I'm not sure if this will actually help if we
On
try and
runway
do this.
3,
1, 2,
5,
3.
flaps, flaps.
2, 3.
On runway 3, 5. On runway 3, 5.
Okay, that's fine. I'll do it a bit slower, and please stop me if I go too fast, eh? Alright, this is actually very cool. So let's start from the beginning. Don't need to pull that over, I need to move this. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly enter all the information. .6. Oh, I need to change this setting. Realism, just go to short, otherwise we're gonna have an issue putting the fuel in there. And the fuel is 4.5. I'm going to make it 4.7 for the simple reason we're going to burn fuel while we're still setting up. Alright, so that takes care of that. Okay, now. So we're going to do R. Right, so activate, execute. Then we need to cycle this. Anyone, we're going to turn east for a change instead of west. We're going to use runway 35. And on the approach, we're going to use Able 5C. We're going to use RNAV 35 with the Aquila transition, execute. Alright.
On runway 3, 5. On runway 3, 5.
3. That's going to shut her up a little bit. Alright, so if we step, let me get this thing out of your way, sorry guys. If we now step through, you'll see the actual flight plan is in with a little twist going back and then for the landing. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a yen approach because it simulates ILS. Alright. So I won't use the GLS code. I'm not sure if Zibo's fixed the actual the GLS issue. So we won't do that tonight. Alright, so that takes us to that step. We can go to the route. We've got our runway, everything is set up. We're going to put this in 0.5. We don't want any interference. Cost index will be 20. 110. Alright. Then for top of climb, let me start doing it a bit slower now. So for top of climb winds, there we have our winds. It's 324 at 14. And the deviation, ISO deviation is 13. So we're going to use 13 over there and execute N1 limit. Okay, so we can use 35 easy. We want to climb fast because it's a short route. Take off, that should be fine. Flaps will be 5. Alright, CG is not registering, so what we do is we actually go here find the CG over here. Our gross weight CG,
On
that's
runway,
19.1.
3, on
We
runway,
can
3,
actually go
5.
further, and we can go and set the weights as well. 35 is from experience, but if you want to work it out, you need to get something like TopCat. Where's my TopCat? I don't even see it here now. Okay, there's a program called TopCat. Now the magic will come. You see, here's a performance takeoff calculator. When Zibo fixes this, you can do the calculations. It will tell you where I got that, but it just comes from my experience at this point in time. If you want to calculate it, get TopCat. Let's quickly look at this payload thing. I'm not going to worry about that. That's okay for the short flight. What did we say? We wanted the CG 19.1. Alright, okay, so you can use TopCat to work it out for you. Right. 19.1. Alright, that gives us our speeds. Alright, I'm not going to do page 2 now because this is just a quick tutorial. Alright, so we can quickly kill the STKP and go set up the rest of the stuff. Take it back. We've got the data. What is our QNH here? 1023. Perfect. Right, and I also want to set this other thing that Sasso was telling me. No man. That one. Display variants. That's the one we want. Save it. Okay. Alright, Cor, have a good evening. Right, so trim is set. Then what to do is set up all of these things. Got 148. 351. 351 on all of these dials. You're most welcome, my friend. See you next time. 351. I want to climb to 11,000. Alright, so that is done. That's done. Let's just do all the other nice to haves and cosmetics and everything. That's perfect.
By the time it's perfect, take that voice.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Five knot wind, not bad, and yes, we have the yaw damper on. Paul, I heard your voice there. We've got flaps 5. What else did I miss? VOR. I want to get the VOR in here. Just for a point of reference. 11410. So we can kill you, we're going to leave you on. There is our VOR over there. Weather, terrain radar. Right guys, you guys on Discord still okay?
Yeah, fine, Nico.
I've set everything up.
I'm back.
Welcome. Right, so I think I've set everything up So, like you can see, it's basically a normal flight. We're just going to do a normal flight. All right, so start our timer. Let's go for Toga. Okay, I'll pause in the air if we have to, but I don't think we should have to. We'll play it by ear as it happens.
80 knots. V1, rotate. Positive rate.
Right, gear up. Alright, so the aircraft's going to take off, go do all the normal things it usually does. And then once we turn on the downwind leg, we can start looking at a couple of things already. Nice weather for this flight. Wow. Right, so now we have flaps up. Okay, so you were not talking about the landing phase, you were talking about the takeoff phase. Is that what you're saying? Hang on. We can do this again. I hope this works.
1,000 to go. 1,000 to go.
Okay.
On runway 35.
LD. I misunderstood you. I thought you were talking about the landing side of things. So let's start again. If you've got 2 more minutes, I'll quickly show you. I misunderstood you there. Right, okay, so I'm going to reset this thing quickly. Alright, so it's as if we haven't programmed it yet.
On runway 35. On runway 35.
Apparently 42-1 is out.
Yeah, I got it. This is what I'm flying now, Cody.
Oh, good grief.
Alright, okay, that looks okay. Not gonna waste too much time on this then. Okay, so LD. We're going to start slowing it down a little bit. But please shout out quickly when I skip something or I need to discuss something specific. So I'm just going to run through this one. Reserves, that's fine. The 20 is just the cost index that I use, and then we're saying 1100. Okay. For the benefit of the other guys, I'm going to break this down a little bit for you guys. So what you see over here, this is for your top of the climb situations. Alright, and if you look at your OFP, this is the Lido format as I got it from SimBrief. Alright, at the very top, that's the very top over there, you've got your average winds that you can use to put in there. 324 at 14. Right, and your ISA deviation is that one, and that is a positive 13. Alright, so we execute this. No, not much, Sergeant. Right, then to get your flap speed, this is the very first important thing, is you need to have your outside air temperature. If you do not fill in your outside air temperature, you're not going to get your flap speed. You can stand on your head, wiggle your toes, whistle Dixie, it's not going to help you. So what we can do is we can either go / and look it up. Now there's a trick to this. I'm using a non-aspirated let me get the right words for you. Hold on, the right description. If you go to, where is it? Display variants, I think. Where is it? No. I'm definitely looking right over it. That probe. There. Aspirated TAT probe versus a non-aspirated TAT probe. If you use an aspirated TAT probe, this is what you'll find in the PMDG NGX, alright, or NGXU. They use the aspirated pitot tube. It will give you the OAT. You never have to enter it. It's there. It's a Boeing function. It just works. It's part of the software. It's part of the hardware. It's given to you. Alright. This TAT on the ground and this value will be the same. Now in the air the values will not be the same. Right, there's a big story between SAT and OAT and all these things. It's not to worry about. But unless you have the OAT filled in there, you'll never get your flap speeds ever. Alright, now if you use a non-aspirated pitot tube, you are responsible to fill in the OAT. Alright. You do that in this instance, you'll see it's going to rise very quickly, because what happens is those pitot tubes are heated. There's a little heater in each one of them and it gets hot. In the real world it can go up to 99 degrees Celsius. So to use that value is not going to help us. So that's why there's a shortcut built in here. Just click on that line select key over there, right, and that gives us the actual OAT as we are standing on the ground. Then what we said is we're going to use 35, and I told you that that comes from experience. Okay, so we can do a derated to take off, right, or you can use your TopCat to calculate your SEL. Alright, then this is now where you're going to have to speak to me, so we make sure we're on the same page. Alright, so we're going to use flaps 5, the CG we're going to get from the tablet. So we're going to go to the payload. Your gross weight CG, it's now changed because this comes from a saved flight situation, so it's 18.9. So we're going to put in 18.9. That's your gross weight takeoff CG. Alright, that gives us a trim. Now we can go and we can change it and fiddle with it in the tablet. I can actually show you that. Why don't we just show you that as well? So we can go to the tablet and we can look at the CG and we can see it's a little bit forward, so we need to move it backwards. So what we're going to do is we're going to take like 500 kilograms away here, so it's 164. We're going to add 500 there, so it's 1405, and then you'll see the CG is moved. Sorry, it's a bit overwritten, but it's 21.4. Alright, so that gives us a better landing CG. If we now go back to the actual FMC, we can just click it and didn't do much. Why not? That's not right. Don't worry, don't worry. needs to change. That's no longer, oh, you know why it's not changing? It's because we have to put it now in manually. So now we have 21.7, sorry, 21.7. See, automation sometimes fail. Right, so there you go, Anthony. Did remove it. Dream virtual flight, welcome. Anyway, sorry, it's not a problem if you are late. Yes, we do have the pixels. It's normal when you shrink very high quality graphics, so don't let that bother you. Alright, LD, are you with me still? Are you following me up to this point? Alright, okay. So, if we now go back to STKP. Excellent, excellent. If we now go to STKP, we can now go to page 2. Alright. On STKP, it gives us certain values. That is the runway slope. So a minus denotes downhill. So we put a D for downhill or a U for uphill. And then it's 0.7. 0.7. You have to round it off. You only have 2 digits to work with. One in front of the dot and one after the dot. So you have to round it off. And then we go /, and then we pick up the magnetic heading, which is that one. So that's 352, and then we insert it over there. Alright, so that takes care of the runway slope and the runway heading. To get your runway wind, you can do it a couple of ways. You can click on progress, and there it's displayed 311 at 5. 311 at 5. Okay, then you go back to that page, take off page 2, and then you insert it there at the top. So it comes from progress. The wind that's displayed there goes in there. Alright, it's not 100% real because it's a simulator shortcoming, but that's the closest you'll ever get to the proper wind that you put in there. Alright, then what you can decide is, do you have a dry or a wet runway, or do you need skid protection in snow? Alright, we're going to leave it at dry. And over here, look, this is now getting very involved, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. But the easiest way to do derated takeoff with noise abatement, derate's actually got nothing to do with it, but the noise abatement takeoff is just to enable the cutback. So you can have it on or off. You know, that will just reduce your thrust and let the engines run softer, so not to make a lot of noise. Then what we do is we go to the next page and we simply finish off by clicking the actual V speeds. Alright, so this is the point where you need to ask your questions, because this is the basic way of programming it, but I'm not sure if I have answered your questions, so you need to ask your questions.
Hey Nico, I'll be up in the FBO if anybody needs anything.
Alright, cool. Thanks, Cody.
Well, thank you, sir.
Okay, I'm glad. No, Sergeant Potato, we're talking about flap speeds and things. So it starts at 1 point. Alright. Dream Flight Virtual. Let me go to the graph and let me show you. Thank you, Reinhard. My son just brought me some Milo. Let's go back to that graph. I just want to get the STKP out of the way. Alright, Rainbow, yeah, but not tonight. What you'll have to do is watch some of my videos here on the YouTube channel regarding flight planning, because that's a totally different, very in-depth subject. I've done quite a lot of flight planning videos, and that will explain to you exactly how to do that. And if you then have questions, we can answer the questions, but it's going to be very difficult to answer or to do a whole flight plan just now. Okay, to come back to your question, Dreamflight Virtual, there's a couple of truths you need to understand and you need to know how to work with. So the first thing is we've got a forward cargo bay and we've got an aft cargo bay. So the one is nose side, the one is tail side. All right, and depending on the load in them, this green one, that's your landing weight CG. That cross is going to either move forwards or it's going to move backwards. So the more weight you put in the back, obviously the more to the right it's going to move. So if you have an imaginary line right down the center here somewhere, sorry, I'm struggling with the mouse to draw a perfect line, but if you have a line there and this is forward and this is back, when you look at your CG and it's at 18%, it's obviously going to be this side of the line. You wanted that side. What you need to aim for is that CG percentage needs to be ideally for a good landing CG, not a good takeoff CG, a good landing CG needs to be between 20 and 23%. So 21.5 is the golden sweet spot. Alright, and we're at 21.4 right now. That was very close. And then what happens is, depending on the amount of cargo you put in the forward bay, that whole cross will move forward. Depending on how much cargo you put at the back, it's going to move to the back. And your aim is to get it as close to 21.5 as possible, because that will give you a near perfect or perfect landing CG. So you'll be very stable when you land. Right, as long as you guys are happy, then I'm happy. So, Rainbow Plays, I'm sorry I can't help you right now. I've been online for a couple of hours already. I need to also go rest. But please have a look at those videos for flight planning, because it's a very in-depth subject with lots of facets. And come back with some questions then. If you can do that for me, you'll greatly assist me too. Gents, that's it for me. I'm going to call it a night now. You guys have an excellent rest of your day or night, whatever you do, and then we'll see each other on Twitch in the week, and if it doesn't work, we'll come back to YouTube. Bye bye for now, and thanks for the questions. I really appreciate the interaction.